Good day and welcome to another episode of Regional Review. I'm Kenya Kamboe, the Namibia Media Holdings correspondent in the Northeastern regions. On today's show, we'll be giving you highlights of events that unfolded in the Northeastern regions over the past week.
Sport Wrap is a daily show focusing on all sport news and current affairs. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact sportwrap@synergy.com.na.
Our first story is that of the 16 family members from Kayoba village in the Kavango East region who died last month after they had a meal comprising of porridge that derived from mahango grains that were previously used for a traditional brio. It is still unclear as to what caused the tragedy, as the samples from the food the family ate has been sent to South Africa for tests. The poverty-stricken family sought the grains from another family member in exchange for reeds. The victims were buried by the government at Kayoba village at a mass burial which government funded. Government, however, came out accusing the regional leadership of not being on the ground in as far as identifying issues that people are faced with in the community and reporting back to the state for them to be assisted. However, the regional leaders responded as they accused government for ignoring their plight in as far as availing resources is concerned. The region claims that it doesn't get the necessary resources which they require to address the issues the people are faced with in the region. After the mass burial of the deceased, government has since rolled out its campaign whereby it's registering community members who qualify to get drought relief.
Sunset News is a daily news show focusing on national headlines as well as international news. If you'd like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, please contact sunset@synergy.com.na. Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.
SWAPO Vice President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah was in Rundu last month as a keynote speaker at a rally that was organized by the party. The ruling party's presidential candidate for the 2024 presidential elections called upon party members to unite, and she also said that corruption is a disease. She also spoke on the importance of education, which she described as the best equalizer. More and others this is what she had to say.
study about corruption, and I will keep talking on this. Corruption is a serious cancer. When you are involved in corruption, you know you are diverting resources to where it's supposed to go in order for us to ensure that the service has reached where we want it to reach. And the one who are offering corruption and the receiver, they are equal guilty. They are equal guilty. And we should take an inner decision. Take an inner decision that you want to serve your people and serve them with integrity, with respect. Namibia, we have enough resources. And I'm sure with the right mind, with the right understanding, with no selfishness, we will be able to take our people out of poverty. Comrades, we are talking about shared prosperity. We all know that without the youth, there is no nation. SWAPO party government is fully aware of that this is a true statement. That education is the greatest equalizer. And that's why we have to pay attention to educate our young people, to give them appropriate skills so that they can drive this country to prosperity. Yes.
My.NA Property Show provides viewers with the best in-class content, engaging interviews, as well as a showcase of the latest property-related products and services. If you would like to feature your brand or your campaign on this platform, contact My.NA at synergy.com.na. My.NA Properties, more than just a roof over your head.
Last month, the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Human Resources and Community Development was in Kavango East region, where they engaged the members of the community on the issue of unemployment in the country. The committee, which is expected to visit all 14 regions of the country, derived from a motion tabled by Popular Democratic Movement's Member of Parliament Ina Hingari late last year. Rurundo Rural Constituency Councillor Paulus Bangu and Kavango East Governor Bonifacius Wakudumo were some of the key dignitaries at the event, and this is what they had to say.
But the reality of the matter is that most of our budget, when you look at our budget that we tabled in Parliament, starting from 1990 until 2023, all our budget are not pro-youth. I'll give you an example of this year's budget. 84.6 billion. How much money was allocated to the youth? To the youth ministry? 473 million. Out of 84 billion. That already is an indication that we don't care about the youth of this nation, because our budgets have never been pro-youth. Now, when you go through that budget, how much money was allocated to the youth credit scheme? 2 million. How many youth do we have in this country? And then you allocate only 2 million for the youth credit scheme. What does that tell you? Last year, the Ministry of Youth entered into agreement with DBN. They had an 8 million loan facilities to fund apparently 27 rural development projects countrywide.
So employment here. So we need to change that ratio. And agriculture is one sector I'm proposing. I know I'm recommending that really government, yes, I don't want to compromise on education. I don't want also to compromise on health, but budgetary allocation to the Ministry of Agriculture need also to be increased, because agriculture is a catalyst in unemployment to address unemployment in the regions. Finally, we have Rundu UNAM campus here. So our national development plans is talking Kavango, Zambezi is supposed to be the breadbasket of Namibia. But we don't have a faculty of agriculture here. So I want UNAM to expand and also add the faculty of education, of agriculture, because we want proper, trained agricultural graduates in terms of theory and terms also of practice, because the modern agriculture is not the way myself and my father used to farm. As you must clean 50 hectares, but from the 50 hectares you only get 20 bags of mahangu. The modern agriculture is you can only have maybe 1 hectare. From that 1 hectare you can produce 150 bags, 50 kg of maize. It is based on the technology which is derived from the research perspective, which means that we need to impact knowledge of our youth so that they can venture in agriculture. The agriculture of those days is you need to go on the field and water. The agriculture of these days, you sit in a luxury room, you just press computers, then the irrigation will automatically irrigate.
Tourismus Namibia is a weekly tourism show that brings you the latest news in the tourism industry and topics related to that. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact tourismus@synergy.com.na for news and advertising related queries. Tourismus, bring the world to Namibia.
Mr. Kanyetu, can you just tell us what is your take on what happened to the 16 family members at Kayaba village who died of suspected food poisoning? And just tell us, what does this tell us about the poverty situation in the Kavango regions?
Yeah, thank you very much. To start with, it's actually a very, very much unfortunate situation that had happened. And this is just a confirmation of what people has been saying about us as a region, being the poorest region and these kind of things. It goes back to the responsibility of the authorities, both regional and national leadership, particularly the office of the Prime Minister that is responsible for this type of situation. I mean, it's even going to be worse going forward, as I said the other time, because people did not harvest nothing this year. The rain was not that good for harvest. So I think for government, it has now truly get that wake-up call to make sure that if government is not going to take this opportunity and see how to help the Kavango people, many people will die and many lives are going to be lost, and it's not just going to be good. So therefore, I think it has to be a priority now, particularly from the office of the Prime Minister, that be it that from the contingency fund, that funds has to be availed so that we identify who are those in need of food, we identify who are those that need national documents, for example. I mean, we had, all of them did not have document at their disposal, which is not, truly a good thing. 33 years after independence, what is so difficult that we are unable to provide documents to our people? Government have got programs in place like the orphan grants, the old age, and the others they are giving assistance. But due to the lack of documentations, people are unable to access this what you call it, a benefit. So therefore, I think we have to do a check-up within the Ministry of Home Affairs to see why is it a challenge up to now for us that we are unable to complete to give people citizenship. Well, I understand some people might have come from other countries like Angola and all others, but we have Namibians still who are known by everybody, by traditional leaders, by councillors. They are known to be Namibians, just like our people that died recently at Kiowa. So therefore, it has to be a responsibility, collective responsibility for both government and private, including individuals on ourselves. So those of us who are having something must learn how to give back to our communities. As I said, this is going to be a very serious year. There's going to be people who will need more food, and business people, everybody who have something must learn at least how to give their helping hand. Otherwise, we will experience many of these kind of events taking place in our region.
Okay, maybe the second or the last question. During the burial of the 16 people at Upasnet Kiowa, the government had a statement that was read out, and it was blaming the local leadership of not identifying people who are in need of assistance from government and informing the Office of Prime Minister, which means that whereby they even called upon the leaders to be more on the ground. So what is your take on government calling out leaders in that manner?
No, that was just a way how to escape the shame that came, because it's not true. I speak to many councillors here. I speak to many administrators of the regional government. Just like the chairperson said the other time, they've been making calls now and again, but they are told there are no resources. So the government must just be honest with themselves, particularly the Office of the Prime Minister. I mean, they used to come around here. They have their informers on the ground. They know what is happening. But I think that's already water under the bridge. But going forward, government must now know we have a serious situation in the region, and they have to act, as quickly as possible. So for the regional leaders, well, as much as we are trying to also deny the blame, but I'm calling for the regional leadership to also work extra mile, making sure particularly to assist those who are in need of national documents, because that's also one of the requirements to access government program benefits.
Okay, Mr. Kanye, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Chill Sessions is an entertainment show that brings you the latest hit, fashion, and entertainment news. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact chill at synergy.com.na. Chill Sessions, bringing art and entertainment to the people.
America, tell us, who are you and what do you do?
Yes, as you called me by my surname, that's my surname. My name is Atom. I'm raised and come from Ocho, which is in Kunene region. Here I've come here because of work, which I applied for in 2011 through Kayak. So I'm here as a youth development program coordinator for the past 12 years.
Tell us, why Kayak? Why this profession?
The profession of youth development, working very closely with the youth, is one of my best favorite professions that I fell in love with over the past 16 years in total, because before Kayak, I worked for another organization called 4H Namibia, which was in Ocho-Vanjupa region, which this journey has taken me quite very far and made me to fall in love with helping and supporting the youth. in different backgrounds, cultures, and so on. So it taught me, it's an experiential learning journey where I've learned from the communities and the youth that I've been working with closely, from both Chotanjupa region, Kunene region, as well as Kavango East and West region. So seeing the demand of the crisis, not the demand, but seeing the challenges that the youth are facing in the regions makes me more eager to help and assist and see ways in how I can be able to change their lives through the work that we are doing with Kayak, being supported by FNB. So every day the challenges become more and more in the region. That keeps me awake, that I need to look at ways on how we can be able to support and assist the youth in the region. And also try to see on how can we keep these kids off the streets, because if we don't come to the office or if we don't come to the center, these kids become more vulnerable in the streets by joining gang groups and falling into peer pressure, starting to drink alcohol and taking drugs and so on.
Tell me, what is the proudest moment, like in terms of youth developing? You see these kids, they come here, no clue about what life is, you shape their life. What is some of the best memories you have in this 16-year journey of yours?
One thing, let me say, by our targets with FNB is that we reach about 75 to 100 youth in the region, and we've exceeded that demand. Actually, we've so far reached close to 200 youth that are registered in the program. That shows you that the demand is really high and the kids are out there wanting to join the program. One thing, when we talk about issues relating crisis that actually these youth are going through, and you talk about it during Life Skills Boys and Girls Club, you question yourself and think, are they even listening to what I'm saying? Are they catching out something? Will they change? And that surprises me, because when you meet some kids, older ones that have left the program, or so, when you find them at their workplace and so, they say, Mr. Anton, it's me, you don't remember me, but I've learned a lot from Kayak. They have their own testimonies that they give you, and you find it shocking for me that, I thought this was one of those students that wasn't listening, but now they really did listen during the program. A lot of them have went very far in the program. Those that we have taught have went far. Most of them have went to universities. From universities, a lot of them are working. We are talking about, I know in our program we've been doing leadership trainings, and I need to say that the current Honorable Emma Tuefeles was one of our participants who was in the program that benefited from the leadership trainings for over 3 years of trainings that we've been grooming them. And not only her, but also a lot of other students that are having very good positions in the companies or ministries where they are working also. So that makes us quite proud. And those that have completed the program in us, or those that have completed grade 12 or university, they come back. They come back and say, we want to give back to the program. We've learned a lot, and it's about time that we also give back to those that are in need of our support or help.
On a personal level, how has Kayak transformed your own life?
It has transformed me, because coming from a very disadvantaged background, from a family where my mom was not working or doesn't still also work, raised by her alone with the assistance of my sisters, I did not have that opportunity like any other student or child to go and study at university immediately after graduating my grade 12. So it was a hustle on my own to find my way to where I am, from especially when I joined Kayak, where I've been sent to attend a lot of small trainings, workshops. Through those workshops and trainings is where I've built my career to be where I am today, and at the same time, currently, even as we are speaking, it taught me that, a lot of people, when they go to universities, they just pick a career without knowing what they're going to become. I opt to choose to become or to go study social work, not social work, but psychology, which I'm currently pursuing and I'm in my second year of doing psychology. I chose it because of my career that I've been in currently, being a youth officer, and I chose that no, I think it's about time I do something related to the work that I'm doing, which was social work. I did some other courses on counseling, HIV and AIDS counseling and so on. So this is just a complementary qualification that I'm studying towards.